Yo, what's good? Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope y'all having a safe and productive day. I was gonna go live way earlier, but I got sidetracked. Couldn't really make up my mind as to what I was gonna talk about. As you're coming in, make sure you hit the like button, share the live. Sorry, I'm eating, and my baby's watching cartoons. So, let me tell you what was on my mind today. Wow, I'm watching everybody else's stuff, and I was sitting here thinking, damn, oh, I got to stream the case tomorrow. Forgot. It was a holiday. I don't know how I could forget that it was a damn holiday, but it's a holiday, so there's going to be no court. But with that being said, while I'm watching the court cases, there's some sucky ass angles. So you can't see all the stuff that people want to show you, like that you're supposed to see, like the exhibits and stuff. So then I thought, hey, if I'm gonna go live anyway and talk about nothing, might as well go live and talk about something. And that something for today, or for right now at least. Hold on, let me drop a pin link. Hold on, y'all. That's something for today. It's gonna be the Travis Rudolph trial. Y'all know I've been watching it. We are all starting to get invested in this thing. You know, it's starting to become interesting because, like, this nigga got. They trying to do the okie doke for him, and I'm trying to see how it's gonna play out. The link is pinned, and anybody that wants to come up here, feel free to do so. No pressure. I just get the backgrounds changed because, like I said, I was gonna do like a kickback thing where we just sit back and chill, but we could still sit back and chill and watch these little clips that I found when I was surfing through and being nosy, trying to get a little bit more background on the story and what was going on. Then I want to take y'all back to, and then I want to take you guys back to the opening statements now that we're 3 days in and we know a little bit more. I want you guys to hear the defense's opening statement. So let me go ahead and share this so y'all can hear these.
What's your emergency? I just heard a ton of shots behind me. I just heard shots fired. It sounded like 10 gunshots. It's a guy out here saying that he's just been shot.
April 7th, 2021. 911 calls for help flood into dispatch around midnight.
Things escalated so quickly.
For the first time, Travis Rudolph talks about the night he says 4 men showed up at his front door.
I just heard a loud bang, as if like the police was at the door.
In exclusive video, we can now see everything playing out on security cameras.
This all happened within seconds, so my brother was the first one to get to the door, so I was worried about his safety as well.
According to court records, Rudolph and his then-girlfriend, Dominique Jones, got into a fight earlier that night.
Open this door, bro, because this got me. Dominique, stop.
Who are you calling a
Afterwards, she texted her brother, Keyshawn Jones. Evidence shows they both made threats towards Rudolph.
As soon as I came outside, literally, Tyler, he sucker punched me to my left eye. It was Tyler and Sebastian. It was like kind of trying to corner me in. And Tyler, he had pulled out his firearm. And during that time, Tyler pulled out his firearm. Sebastian was like, you messed with the wrong girl. You're going to die tonight. And that's when I went back inside and grabbed my firearm.
The fight spilling out into the street. The video shows Rudolph then running off his property with an AR-15.
I had to do what I had to do, you know what I'm saying, to protect me and my family. My brother was on the ground getting jumped by 2 of those guys getting kicked. So that's the reason why I went down the street. While they're all in their car, I see 2 firearms pointing at me and my brother. And I couldn't believe it. And it's just a split decision where I just felt like it's either me and my brother or these guys that's, you know what I'm saying, gonna get hurt.
Rudolph firing 39 rounds, the 4 men speeding off.
I know people at home are going to question, okay, he has an AR-15. and he fired 39 times. What's your explanation for that?
I can't even count how many times I shot, to be honest with you. I got fast reflexes. You know, I play football. And on top of that, I mean, I felt like I had to keep shooting until the threat is no longer a threat anymore.
Did you realize you had shot somebody when that all happened?
No, I honestly didn't know I had shot anyone. And my heart sunk. I was just trying to get them away from me and my brother, from killing us, really.
Sebastian Jean Jacques was shot and killed. Tyler Robinson was also shot but survived. Keyshawn Jones and Christopher Lowe were not hurt.
Did you do anything differently?
It was a matter of life or death at that moment that I had shot. And I'll do the exact same thing if it came down to it.
Okay. So, as you can see there in that video, yes, baby. You're eating french fries too. Yes, baby, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. So, as y'all can see there, and I think this is the interesting part, is the altercation that actually ended up happening. Look at this footage, y'all. This is very telling. Mind you, Dominique calls her brother or texts her brother saying he just put his hands on me, right? But this is the ring cam footage. Make sure it's not sped up in any type of way. No, it's on normal playback. This is the ring cam footage of the incident.
Girlfriend Dominique Jones got into a fight earlier that night.
Open this door, bro, because it got me. Dominique,
Right.
stop.
Who are you calling a bruh?
Afterwards, she texted her brother, Keyshawn
Right there.
Jones.
If you can see that, I don't know if I'm still me. Okay, she, like, that's stretching of the truth, you know. The footage don't show him just flat out putting his hands on you. She fired on that man. Now, I did do some research. And he was denied the stand your ground defense as a way to get off, which is why he's in court now. Because he thought he fired 39 shots, 39 rounds into that car while they were trying to get away. DHS, there was no threat. They were in the car, they were leaving. That's why he was denied the stand your ground defense. But the thing that started it all, Dominique and this fight. Watch it again, y'all.
Friend Dominique Jones got into a fight earlier that night.
Open this door, bro, because it got me. Dominique, stop.
Who are you calling a bruh?
Afterwards, she texted her brother, Keyshawn Jones. Evidence shows they both made threats towards Rudolph.
As soon as I came outside, literally, Tyler, like,
And
Tyler,
them
like,
text messages.
outside, literally, as soon as I came.
Oops. Hold on, y'all. She's saying, please go shoot that shit up. Shoot his shit up. Travis is a dead man walking. There is no way to get out of it. You wanted something to happen to him. It's crazy, knowing what you know now. Now, let me see something here. This is why he was denied the stand your ground defense. Hold on.
County judges ruled Travis Rudolph cannot use a stand your ground defense in his first-degree murder trial. The former football star accused of killing a man in Lake Park last spring. Rudolph told police he felt threatened following an argument when his then-girlfriend's brother came to their home. Rudolph faces life in prison if convicted of murder.
I'm still muted. So now for those of y'all who missed it, I want to play, and this is what I wanted to go back and listen to, because you know you catch everything on the playback. I want to go back and listen to the defense's opening statement so I can try to figure out what is the, you know, what line of defense are they going to take? What route are they going? So let's hear this.
love learning new things. We found our fearless catalyst. Now we all know just who that is. Fearless catalyst.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. The evidence is going to show that on April 6th of 2021, Dominique Jones, a woman scorned, set a series of events that ended in a tragedy and forced Travis Rudolph to act in self-defense. Her rage and jealousy set this entire thing in motion. That's what the evidence is going to show. You're going to hear that in 2021, Travis Rudolph was 26 years old at the time. He lived in Lake Park on 550 Teak Drive with his mother, Linda, and his brother, Daryl, who also goes by DJ Rudolph. You're going to hear that Travis's father was tragically killed several years ago while he was working. He was shot at a restaurant. And because of that, his mother, Linda, felt compelled to have security at the home. They bought a door ring bell camera. They bought a security system called a Night Owl. She was very fearful for her safety as a result of that incident. Her boys were there. They lived with her. Travis bought some firearms as a result of that for home protection. You're going to hear that he had a concealed weapons permit, that all the guns he owned were legal. There was nothing illegal about his firearms. He kept them in the home, primarily in his bedroom. He went to the range. He practiced. He was trained. He knew how to use these firearms and never did. But this night he was forced to in order to save the life of himself and his brother. That's what the evidence is going to show. You're going to hear that on April 6th of 2021, well, let me step back for a moment. You've already heard some of this in jury selection, that Travis went to Cardinal Newman High School. He graduated. He went to FSU on his football scholarship. He was a standout receiver, both at Cardinal Newman and at FSU. You're going to hear that, and you've heard a little bit of this already, that he won the lottery when he got a contract with the NFL. He played with the Giants for a bit, and then he played for the Dolphins. His career with NFL was short-lived, unfortunately. When he was playing for Miami, he sustained a serious injury. His ACL was torn, and that basically put the end of his NFL career away. But that wasn't the end of it. He still wanted to play ball. That's his passion. He started training and rehabbing down in Miami. He was doing that for quite some time. During the time that he was in the NFL, he also met a woman by the name of Dominique Jones, the woman scorned, and they had been dating for about a year and a half. When he got injured, however, he and Dominique started falling out, and they decided that they were probably on the outs and they were going to break up. Another reason for that breakup was that Travis had gotten a contract with the Canadian League and was set to leave and go play with them the following month in May of 2021. And Dominique Jones knew that, so they were sort of on the outs. On April 6th, the day of this incident, you're going to hear this from Travis Rudolph, who's going to take the stand. You're going to hear this whole story from his mouth. You're going to hear that he was down in Miami training, as he had done every day for many, many months. He was down at the NFL facility training with a friend of his who played on the NFL. He got home late in the afternoon, went home. He and Dominique had been talking, they had been texting, and they decided that they were going to go to a movie that night. That was their big plan. They didn't pick out which movie or what time, but it was sometime probably around 9 o'clock that evening. Travis remained home, waited for Dominique to come over. You're going to hear that she arrived around 7 o'clock or so in the evening. When Dominique arrived there, Linda Rudolph, Travis's mom, was at Bible study at her sister's house. And DJ had just left a little bit before to go to the car wash to get his car detailed. Dominique came into the house, and immediately she told Travis, hey, I want to go to the liquor store to get a Patron bottle, a bottle of tequila. They drove to the liquor store. Dominique bought a bottle of Patron, and you're going to hear that they went back to the Rudolph residence. When they got back to the Rudolph's house, they played a card game called Uno. They did a couple of shots of tequila, and you're going to hear, this was taking place in Travis's bedroom in the home, and you're going to hear that DJ, Daryl, came home around 8:30 or so. When he got home, he asked Travis to step outside for a moment. He wanted him to look at his detailing of his car. He was dissatisfied with something, and he wanted to ask Travis a question. Travis left his cell phone in his bedroom with Dominique, and he stepped outside. When he came back in, That's when all hell broke loose. Dominique went into his phone without his permission. She sneaked around, scrolled through his text messages, and saw that he had been talking with a woman named Kyla and some other women who were merely friends. But it set her off. She became infuriated, enraged. She lost her mind. She became unhinged. Travis came back into the house. Before he could even do anything, she confronted him. And he said, she's just a friend, Kyla. She could not control her anger, her jealousy, her rage. She lost her mind. She picked up Travis's phone. She FaceTimed Kayla, turned the phone around and said, talk to her. I want to watch your reaction while you talk to this woman. And he did. And they were talking as though nothing was wrong, and she could not control her rage. She took the cell phone, smashed it to the ground, and broke it, screaming, I'm sending my brother over to kill you. I'm sending my brother over to kill you. She then walked over to his dresser, where he had a whole bunch of football trophies and other football things, picked up a metal trophy, hit him over the head with the trophy in her rage. She then picked up his PlayStation, which was in his room, dragged it to the living room, smashed it there as well, in a rage. She was out of control, whole time screaming, I'm sending my brother over to kill you. I'm sending my brother over to kill you. What you're going to hear, though, ironically, is she was married throughout their entire relationship and never told this man this. She was married to a guy named Andre Kishang, or Kishang, I don't know how to pronounce it, but never told him for a year and a half that she was married, sneaking behind her husband's back. You're going to hear that Miss Jones.
Sustained. Go ahead.
You're going to hear that Miss Jones didn't get a divorce until 2 months after his arrest. You're going to hear that Dominique was so upset after she smashed his personal items, she storms out of the house. And you're going to see with your own eyes her demeanor, her behavior, what she did, because it's all captured on the Ring video camera at the house. You're going to see her storm out of the house. You're going to see with your own eyes her attacking and beating up Travis. Travis is like this. He does nothing to retaliate. He does not touch her. He doesn't hit her. He tells her to calm down. But he's mad. He'll tell you that. He's mad. She broke his PlayStation, hit him over the head, broke his phone. So what does he do? He gets into her ear and he starts telling her, Kyla has a better body than you. She's better looking than you. And this sets her off even more. She storms out of the house. You're going to see on the video that she trips and falls. She had some recent cosmetic surgery, but she pops right back up. He did not touch her. She claims, and she's going to tell you, and has made prior statements, that he picked her up off her feet and slammed her to the ground 2 times. That's not what you're going to see. You're going to see him backing off, not doing anything as she pounds him and beats him up.
Now, let me pause that right there, because that is interesting. She says he picks her up and slams her on the floor 2 times. And it just so happened to happen on the ring cam footage. Ring cam footage shows this.
Friend Dominique Jones got into a fight earlier that night.
Open this door, bro, because it got me. Dominique, stop.
Who are you calling a bruh?
Afterwards, she texted.
So my question is, sorry, 7's sippy cup is like a full-blown whistle. I played that because when I saw the actual footage, and I was thinking about the open statements of the prosecutor, the state, and the defense, instantaneously, I started leaning a little bit more towards the defense, because Dominique's narrative of how that physical altercation played out was so far beyond the truth. Like, she said she threatened to hit him. No mention of all this stuff being broken. No mention of her ever putting her hands on him. It was just like, the way she made it seem, this man just came up here like Incredible Hulk because she wasn't leaving the house fast enough and just shoved the shit out of her. What he did in that video is how I would expect a guy to react, like not for nothing. I would expect a guy to react like that if like their girl was putting hands on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your girl is just beating on you, you ain't just gonna sit there with your arms wide open, like, yeah, give me more. You're gonna try to get her off of you in some way, you know, pushing her, trying to grab her arm, stuff like that. So when I see this video, it made me instantly think about the opening statements and the defense's narrative and what seemed more reasonable or more likely to have occurred. Now, what was a gold nugget that happened in this is the state says that Travis will testify. So I'm eager because I love me some cross. It's not what you say during direct examination. For me, it's what happens in cross, because when it is your witness, you have prepared them, you have told them the questions that you want to ask them, you already know what their response is going to be. What you cannot prepare for is how the cross goes when they start picking apart pieces and things that you really didn't have put together nicely. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the lies start falling apart. So I'm going to continue to play this, but keep in mind that ring cam footage. And if that's just one piece of it, how much more of this story was embellished by Dominique and the state?
He's in her ear saying Kyla has a better body. Kyla's better looking than you. And this just enrages her even more and more. You're going to see on the video that she storms back into the house to get her tequila bottle after she's allegedly slammed to the ground 2 times. She forgot the bottle. So she runs back into the house to get her tequila bottle, goes back out the door. You'll see this on the video. And you're going to see Travis following her, and he's still in her ear talking about Kayla, and this infuriates her even more, that she takes the tequila bottle and hits him over the head with the tequila bottle. At this point, DJ is now coming out, and he's involved, and he's trying to calm the situation down. And you're going to hear from DJ as well. He will tell you this occurred. She picks up a brick by the front house on the lawn near a palm tree. And she starts heading towards Travis's BMW truck, which was the first big purchase he made when he got his NFL contract. This is his most precious thing. He's no longer in the NFL. He doesn't have any more money. This is his pride and joy. She takes the brick and she's walking towards the truck, to smash the window. But DJ and Travis stop her and they take the brick from her hand. Okay? That car window mysteriously was smashed that evening, but Dominique says she didn't do it. While she's on the front lawn acting this way, screaming, yelling, calling him a broke bitch. This is even heard by another neighbor. She tells Travis again, repeatedly, I'm going to have my brother come and kill you. And now she says it more, and she's more serious about it. You're going to hear that she had driven her car to the scene, to Travis's house that night, a black Scion, I believe it was, parked it alongside his house. She got into her car. DJ and Travis went back into the house. They didn't know what to make of all of this. It was just unbelievable. You're going to hear that while she sat in her car, she did something that set this entire nightmare into motion. She calls her brother, the one that she said was going to come over and kill him. And she's crying and yelling and upset, tells him what happened. He slammed me to the ground. He disrespected me. I just had cosmetic surgery. Keyshawn's now all riled up. She calls another friend of hers, who Keyshawn sees as a brother, close friend, Tyler Robinson, tells Tyler Robinson, he disrespected me. He slammed me to the ground 2 times. Come get him. She then sends a group text that you will see, to Keyshawn and Tyler Robinson. And she says, go shoot up his shit. Go shoot up his shit. And what does Keyshawn respond back to her and Tyler? He responds that Travis Rudolph is a dead man walking. Dead man walking. That's what he says. You're going to hear that Dominique also, in her rage, calls Tierney Coleman. Tierney Coleman is Travis's sister. And she tells her, he disrespected me. I'm going to go handle him. My brother's going to go handle him. I'm going to come to your mama's house. My brother is going to shoot up his shit. She then calls Linda Rudolph and gets in her ear and starts telling her, I'm going to handle him. I'm going to handle him. He disrespected me, and I'm going to have him shoot Travis. She called everybody. She could not control her rage. At 10:15, you're going to hear Tierney Coleman then called Travis's house, the house phone, to warn him, hey, she just called me. She called mom. She's unhinged. She's telling everybody that they're coming. They're going to kill you. Travis was concerned, but not completely 100%, because they had gotten into it in the past and they were on the outs, and he was leaving in May. She had done this, but they were fighting pretty much all the time. 10:45, Linda got home from Bible study, and she looked at the Ring video and saw that Dominique Jones was the aggressor. She saw with her own eyes that her son did nothing wrong, that she was the one that was pounding and beating up on him. So she knew that Dominique was not being truthful, but she was still concerned. You're going to hear that they spoke about it, but things were quiet for a little bit, so they went to bed. Travis went to bed. DJ was up. Linda was still up. Dominique drove to her apartment in Delray Beach. And when she got there, you're going to hear that Keyshawn, her brother Jones, was present. She was crying. She was upset. She had no injuries, although Keyshawn will tell you she did. But the detective she met with that night didn't note any injuries. She never went to the hospital. But she put on the show and she cried, and he slammed her to the ground and he disrespected her. So what does Keyshawn do? Keyshawn grabs his 9mm Glock that he's known to carry. He has a concealed weapons permit. He's a gun enthusiast. He's bought and sold guns. In fact, the gun that Mr. Clossy made reference to that Tyler Robinson had that night was sold to Tyler by Keyshawn Jones one day after he had purchased it. He knew how to handle guns. And at that time, he had a 9mm Glock. He took it, and what did he do? He went to his friend Tyler Robinson's house, who had also received the text messages to go shoot up his shit, and that Travis was a dead man walking. And what you're going to hear is when he got to Tyler Robinson's house, there were other men that were there too, that Tyler had called and said, come here, we got to do something. We can't let this go. We got to do something about him disrespecting Dominique. And when they got to Tyler's house, Sebastian was already there. Tyler's brother Tyrone was there. Chris Lowe was there. And then Keyshawn shows up. And what do? They conspired and planned to go to Travis's house at midnight, several hours after this alleged slamming to the ground, to retaliate and to kill him, just as she.
Now, to be fair, this is where I believe they stretched the truth a little bit, because as we heard in the prior testimony, Keyshawn, Travis, Tyler, and Chris all rode in the same car together. I'm not sure if they met up or something, but they all were actually in the car together. And the footage that was shown was them getting out the car together. But I did hear testimony from Keyshawn when he says that the mother was trying to show the video that it was his sister who was like, wilding out and shit. So, yeah.
She ordered him to do. 2 hours later, that's what the evidence is going to show. They weren't there to help a damsel in distress. She was home back in Delray in the apartment. The threat was over. They were there at midnight to act as vigilantes and to retaliate. That's what they went there for, armed. You're going to hear and see that when they went to Travis's house, they took Keyshawn's mother's black Cadillac. You're going to hear that Tyler Robinson was in the front seat. You're going to hear that Chris Lowe and Sebastian were in the back seat. All 4 men were armed. All 4 of them had guns, and you'll see evidence of that. They put Travis's address into the GPS 550T drive, despite the fact that Keyshawn had been there on a prior occasion. They put the GPS in. You're going to hear that they intentionally parked several blocks away. They did not park at Travis's house. They knew where the house was. Keyshawn had been there. Travis's house. The men parked down here somewhere. And the reason they did that was it was midnight, dark. They knew that Travis had cameras at the house. They didn't want to give Travis an opportunity to prepare himself for the attack. So they parked the car way down here, never expecting a neighbor, Mr. Nash's camera, to capture that. Never expecting that. And what you're going to hear is when they parked the car way down here from Travis's house, despite the fact that there was parking available, they could have parked it on the car. They did it on purpose to come up and do a sneak attack on this man. They didn't want to give him an opportunity to prepare himself and arm himself in case he needed to when 4 armed men came to his door. You're going to see on the video something very interesting. You're going to see that they park the car, they get out of it, all 4 men pile out, they open the trunk of the car, and you're going to see Keyshawn Jones put his cell phone in the trunk. He takes his house keys, puts them in the trunk. Sebastian takes his cell phone, iPhone, expensive iPhones, puts it in the trunk, takes his backpack, puts it in the trunk. They put all their personal items in the trunk because they know they're going there for violence. They don't want their property to get destroyed. That's what the evidence is going to show. What do they do then? They pile back into the car, and then they creep up a little bit closer, another block towards Travis's house, but still almost 2 blocks away. Again, so that he doesn't see them coming, so that they can sneak up at the door, so they can catch him when he's off guard and do what they've been told to do, is to go shoot him. That's all on video. If you're only going to talk to someone, why would you do that? Why would you do that? And Keyshawn Jones is going to tell you that that's all he went there for. He wanted to talk. He wanted to have a peaceful chat with Travis, why he disrespected his sister. But he has no good answer why he needed his 4 brothers to go do that at midnight.
And that's the moral of the story, y'all. So, who do y'all think is the problem? Whoa, what did you try to buy on my TV? If you ask me, I think Dominique is the problem. They all make poor decisions. 7. Pick it up. But yeah. Clearly, right, Clip. Salute, Elk-Bomb, and Shaw. I see you guys. Yeah, Dominique is a problem here. She was the instigator. She was definitely the instigator. Now, what I will say, for those of you who have not been watching the last couple days when I've been streaming, this is a good lesson. I believe it's a valuable lesson for men. And I've yet to determine whether or not Dominique has actually learned a lesson from this, because when she testified, she was very snooty, snarky, and I mean extra defensive. But it doesn't seem like, I think the only thing that she regrets is that, you know, one of her brother's friends was killed. But I didn't get the feeling like that she had any type of remorse for the situation. I think she still has feelings about this one, and I think she thinks she was done wrong, even if it was true. You know, I hope it's a lesson that guys get to learn too, is that he could have walked away. If their relationship was estranged, he should have ended it. It shouldn't have been like lingering, you know. And a lot of times breakups be hard, but sometimes somebody has to rip the Band-Aid off first, because I mean, to the testimony that I've heard, Dominique had a problem with her mouth. She had a problem with her mouth, and she had a problem with her hands to herself. And that's what other testimony has shown. And that's the case. Like, dude should have been left. I get that people make mistakes and stuff, but it seems like that physical altercation that they had, that was a pre-existing pattern that Dominique had already showed. And I think that's why a lot of men get like, there's like stereotypes, because only the women, mostly women, report domestic violence and stuff like that. Guys get beat on too, and nobody ever speaks up. But that's why more men should speak up when women are beating on their ass because shit like this happens. The second he pushed her, she activated this whole shit show. And now the guy is on trial for murder. Because Dominique went through his phone, put her hands on him. You know, she put her hands on that man, and then, you know, feels like she been played. So she calls her brother and has him fight her battle.
Jones got into a fight earlier that night.
Open this door, bro, because this got me. Dominique, stop.
Who are you calling a bruh?
Afterwards,
Absolutely unacceptable for women to think that they can step up to a man and put their hands on him. You are, look, sis, no matter how much you try, you are not going to be stronger than a man's energy. Like, I don't even know females who intentionally even date men smaller than them. Like, nobody says they want a scrawny man, you know? So you tend to date somebody of some type of stature. But what is it in you that makes you think that it's okay? Just like guys grow up to be told never to put their hands on a woman, somebody needs to start telling females too, keep your hands to your damn self, because you're not gonna like it if they try, even if they're not beating on you, just pushing you back, trying to restrain you in some way, shape, or form. Like, this shit got all out of control, and it could have all been avoided, you know. And right, not being violent with people who you love, but just not like you like, but more specifically, like, yeah, I agree with that. More specifically, females should not just be feeling like they could just put their hands on anybody. Travis, absolutely first mistake was that when they started going through their little rocky period and stuff, and he wanted to start messing with other females and stuff, he should have left. Why cheat when you could leave and then do your single life thing, do your big one or whatever? It's not necessary. They both had opportunities at times where they could have just walked away, you know. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But anywho, that's probably the gist of what I was gonna play. It's up to you guys. I could play out the rest of the opening statements. There's about 20 more minutes in it if y'all want to hear it. Court will resume on Tuesday, so I'll have my longer stream then when we're talking about we're gonna watch it, and then, you know, we might have a little discussion depending on how it goes. I said it's gonna be day 4 of the of the state's arguments, and they've gotten through every person that was in the car that night. As far as Keyshawn and his 3 friends, they have done the testimony of Dominique. They have also did the testimony of the neighbor and one police officer who pulled up to the scene after the car stalled out after being shot 39 times. As you can see, Seven's in the background having a ball. So it's up to you guys. I'll play it out if you like. No. Yes. Well, let's go ahead and just finish it anyway. And then I could go through my little list and see if there was anything else I really wanted to discuss. I'm not sure. I can't tell from here. Hold on, y'all.
Because that was not the intent. The evidence will clearly show he was there to shoot and kill Travis. That's what they were going to do. Ring video. This is what you're going to say. Keyshawn Jones, Sebastian, Chris Lowe, one of the men, is going to tell you that whenever Keyshawn gets mad, he puts his hoodie up. This is when they're at the front door. Keyshawn Jones, Sebastian, Chris Lowe, Tyler. You can see Tyler Robinson has his shirt on when he first comes up. Sebastian just banged on the door and is now walking away. Sebastian, Chris Lowe looking around. Keyshawn, Tyler. You can see a bulge in Chris Lowe's pocket. A bulge in his right front pocket that is consistent with a gun. You can see Sebastian's right front pocket, a large bulge that is consistent with a firearm. And you already know, from what Mr. Clancy told you, that Tyler Robinson had a gun that was found that evening. This is the gun. Tyler Robinson had a shirt on when he got there, as you just saw. But before Travis got out and his brother DJ came out, he ripped his shirt off, readying himself for a fight. They kept all their guns in the pockets because they knew there were cameras there. They couldn't pull them out right there. But when they moved the fight further away, they did. And you'll hear about that. You're going to see on the Ring video, when they got there, Sebastian banged on the door very forcibly. DJ was right there, his bedroom's closest. He came right out, answered the door politely. They'll all tell you that. What do you want? And they demanded to see Travis. We want to see Travis. Get your brother. Now Travis, who was sleeping, hears some commotion at the front door. You're going to hear that he grabbed his gun. He ran to the door. He did not take the gun out. He put the gun by the door and the couch area. He didn't run right out with the gun. He goes to the door. He steps outside. And the minute he stepped outside, you're going to hear that Tyler Robinson sucker punched him on the side of the face. And before he could do anything, all four men were on top of him, immediately attacking him, beating him up. He had no chance. He didn't run back in to get his gun and shoot. They were fighting. It was a big brawl. DJ then gets involved. He's trying to pull all four men off his brother. They start then attacking DJ. He doesn't go back in to get his gun. The brawl continues. You're going to hear that the fight continues down the lawn. They're attacking him, beating him up. Sebastian and Tyler are beating up Travis, 2-on-1, and you're going to hear from Travis that at that point, Tyler Robinson took out his gun, pointed it at him, threatening to kill him, and said, "It's demon time, it's demon time. You disrespected Dominique." It was only at that point that after Tyler Robinson pulled his gun that you're going to hear that Travis Rudolph got his. It was only after he was faced with the gun. You're going to hear he ran back into the house. You're going to see it on the Ring video. You're going to see he grabs his gun quickly because it was left at the door, never took it out until he was forced to had a gun on him. You're going to see on the Ring video, he runs back out with his gun. He trips and falls. He's moving so quickly, gets right back up. When he gets back up, he walks back towards Tyler Robinson, the guy that pointed a gun at him. And Tyler Robinson at this point says, "You got this, you got this." Now he's scared. Tough Tyler Robinson's scared now. "You got this, as though he's surrendering. And he runs away. He starts running down Redwood in the direction that the car is parked. You're going to hear that at that moment, Travis looked down to follow him, to follow where Tyler was running. And what he saw was that his brother DJ was on the street on Redwood being attacked by two men. Sebastian and Chris Lowe, 2-on-1, were beating the hell out of DJ. That happened not near the house. Nowhere near here. It happened down here closer to where the car was parked. DJ was being attacked, beaten by Sebastian and Chris Lowe. Chris Lowe will even tell you. His story corroborates Travis's and DJ's. Chris Lowe will tell you that when he saw Sebastian and DJ fighting on Redwood, nowhere near the house, that he did not want it to be a fair fight. He did not want DJ and Sebastian to have a fair fight. So what did he do? He ran up and sucker punched in and jumped in. He's going to tell you it was 2-on-1, and that's the way he wanted it. And that's what Travis saw when he looked down the street. He saw two men beating up his brother. And he knew one of them that was running in that direction had a gun. So what did he do? He ran down the street to help his brother. He had his gun on him. And when he got down the street, the four men quickly ran away again, and they ran into the car.
My bad. Okay, so I don't know. Can you guys hear me? I know you guys pretty much got the idea of what's happening, what the defense is. Like I said, what I missed the first time when I watched it is that Travis is going to testify. So that should be pretty interesting. That's something to look forward to. I also wonder if the girl that he had called on FaceTime, is she going to be in court to be There's a fucking ankle biter trying to like bite the shit out of my ankle right now. Hell no. Oh, speaking of ankle biters, my daughter, no, she's not the ankle biter, but my daughter got stung or bit last night, and her eye looked like a little hamburger bun. Oh, Pumpkin woke up, her eye was swollen and it was red, and I was like, oh, Pumpkin. So I gave her some Zyrtec, because we did spend outside all day outside. When I tell you, yesterday my daughter had a blast. The only win for me is that we didn't actually decided not to stand in line and pet the animals or feed the animals, because that would have been like doo-doo central. We went to the county fair, so that would have been like doo-doo central, and I definitely would have been mad, but she had a ball. We got there at like 10. They didn't open until 11, so we had a tailgate until 11, and then we literally did not leave until 8 o'clock at night. I was so mad at my siblings because their kids are all older, like 7, 6, and 5, and their kids are okay and they can fight. My daughter, she's dead weight when she decides she's not walking no more. Yeah, we had a stroller, but she did not want to be in the stroller. There were too many people around, so she didn't want to walk. She wanted to be held the entire time. So whose knees and ankles are sore today? Me. Because I had to carry my daughter all up and down this Fairplex. It was a bummer. I was pissed. But she had fun. Spent money I didn't need to spend because she was literally like 1.5 inches too short to ride most of the shit there. Even when we got to like the little kiddie play area, whatever, she was literally like 1.5 inches too short to ride. Like, she must be like 32 inches, because every ride started at like 36 inches and she was like barely there. So she only got to get on one ride, and I was kind of like, oh, that's sad. And she wasn't fucking with them animals. She didn't want to play with pet the birds. She wanted to look at stuff from a distance, but she ate. And when I tell you she ate everything, red dye number 40 should be coming out of her shit. She ate everything. Everything. And my ankles are paying the price for it today. Yeah. So that was that. I don't know. I could keep the stream open for the chat. Y'all can have a conversation or something. You know, I don't like being up here and just talking to myself like a crazy woman. And I'm not cammed up right now because I don't know, I'm just lazy. So that's that. Ideas about the channel and moving forward. What do we want to do? Are there things you guys have interests in outside of battle rap? There's enough of our platforms that we all is it circumvent? We are frequent, you know, so I kind of trying to just stay away from the battle rap, as you guys know, because everywhere we go, that's all we're talking about. Until there's really time to talk about it, I really just don't feel the need to just keep talking about the same shit that everybody else is talking about. If you guys don't know, while I'm thinking about other people's channels, if you guys don't know, Danny has a strike. We don't know how she got the strike, but she has a strike. I think for one more week or something, she can't go live. I'm not sure. And honestly, I don't want, and I saw that what the strike was, like what live it was from. I can't even go back to see what it was. So make sure you subscribe to her backup channel, because if she does go live, that's where she's going to go live from. Clip, we thought it was interesting. Yeah, it's a good story. The trial itself, you would think it would be boring, but I thought it would be an interesting one to watch, only because this shit happens to a lot of people all the time. Not this whole instant of, you know, shooting and somebody passing or whatever, but the drama that people go through in relationships. It happens all the time. It's probably happened to one of y'all. To some extent, for me, that type of drama has happened to me, and it just shows you when things get out of hand, when it goes a little bit too far. And then there are actions that are taken that can't be erased. You know, maybe Travis, you know, was just infuriated that 4 people actually had the nerve to show up to his door and try to fight them in front of their house. But we know that the stand your ground law that Florida has did not apply in this instance, because they were in the car and they were driving away, and maybe he was angry. And I wonder if that's the angle that the prosecutors are going to take when he testifies. Maybe he was angry because they were getting jumped. And maybe it's the narrative is that they lost the fight. And out of anger, he just shot back in retaliation. Well, that right there would not be self-defense. But how it's looking right now, in my opinion, how I watch it, how I see it, I would call it self-defense. But that's why I like court cases, because every day you find out something different. What we thought would apply as the story progresses does not apply to, or it's not a valid reason, you know? And just because one person looks a certain way, the story got to stand up on cross. And I know you guys may not be court case kind of people, you know, you guys may not be like law and crime kind of people, law and order type of people and stuff like that. I usually tend to just watch those certain ones. Either there's some really wild, crazy, interesting factor, or I could see how it could apply in real life. I mean, even for me, you know, there would be a time like that I would be that one to call my homies after some shit happened, you know. But this lets you know, like, you can be mad. Sometimes you need to calm the fuck down, because you don't want to be the one that seems responsible for sending your homies on a dummy mission. And that's what Dominique did. She sent her brother and her friends on a dummy mission, and her boyfriend at the time ended up catching a body for it. So there's a lot of lessons to be learned. So that's really why I be playing it, because a lot of people like to be on the internet acting like they super tough niggas. And all the while, real life can happen to anybody at any given time. You know? And something like this isn't that far-fetched of a scenario happening to somebody that's watching this. You know? Being a player does have its repercussions. If you want to talk about, like, you could break down the different lessons that people have to learn. Being a player had a repercussion. Travis is facing the repercussions of playing games with somebody else. Finding females' numbers in the phone. He having all these little back end conversations. No, there's a repercussion for that. It did cause a chain of events. Dominique got a smart mouth, thinks she could put her hands on anybody because no man is gonna put their hands on her back. Well, you didn't like how you looked in that scenario, and your ego got the best of you, and you now have to sleep with that on your head. Like, you got to eat that. There's a lot of lessons. There's a lot of lessons, and this story could happen to a lot of us, anybody at any given time. Everybody was playing games. Everybody was absolutely playing games in this situation. And the outcome was something that none of them anticipated. I'm sure Dominique's brother, Keyshawn, didn't realize feeling like Incredible Hulk and I want to be bad and we're going to go over there and going to jump him was going to turn into this. Dominique may have said that shit, but did she really want that shit to happen? I don't take them to be thugs. I don't take them to be street niggas. I don't take them to be, hell. Dominique's a realtor. Her brother's pre-med. Tyler is in law school. Chris may have been about shit, but and Sebastian, he's not here anymore. They were 21 years old when this incident happened. 21, they were kids. They were kids. Travis killed, so the 4 people that showed up to the house, Keyshawn, which was Dominique's brother, and his 3 friends, Sebastian, Tyler, and Chris. Travis ended up killing Sebastian and hospitalizing Tyler. Tyler got shot in his back and his arm and his hip. But he was released, I believe, the next day because he didn't have insurance. So he did most of this treatment at home after the surgery, removing the bullets and stuff like that. So he killed one and injured another one. He shot into the car and he got the people in the back seat. And he attempted to do he tried to do a self-defense of stand your ground, but Florida rejected it because they were in their car leaving at the time when he shot the 39 bullets from his AR-15. You know how you know these is kids? These are kids when they testify and they describe the guns as Call of Duty weapons. These are kids. No, he actually just cleaned and packed the bullet holes at home with gauze and saline, flush it out, drain it, and then just pack the bullet wounds. So they cleaned them out and everything, but he just changed the dressing three times a day. But yeah. Anyway, since I have you guys here, we can come up with some other ideas of some things you guys want to do on the streams. Money Wheel is fun and all, but I want to do some other ways to engage and have participation and so on and so forth. Since most of the time, most of y'all don't want to click the link and come up here and talk. Absolutely fine. But I need things to do because I do better with planning things out when I have a mindset on what's going to happen or what I'm going to do. I like a little bit more organization because I'm not about to just sit up here and talk to myself. Or I could leave y'all to figuring out what to do with the rest of y'all Sunday night. Makes no difference to me. I know eventually I'm going to just go to bed, call it a night, wrap that shit up. I am, like I said, I'm still thinking of some other shit to do on the streams. That could be fun. That could be entertaining, kill some time, and outside of the regular fuck shit that we entertain. But I love fuckery too. I just don't like it every day. Since it also because the person I would have a conversation with is don't want to talk. But I remember why. He probably don't want to talk now after that whole conversation we had with Danny. But you know, nigga, you can't keep taking shots at me, especially when I'm nowhere to be found. Like, I'm not even there. So, I'm not on a guilt trip. I'm just saying, I want to find other things to do. Like, if I have, like, a plan of set things that I really want to talk about, it's so much easier for me to be up here and talk to myself. Because at that point, I'm just saying whatever the fuck I want to say about the topic that I already know I actually want to talk about. Some shit, like, if I just click live just because, like, it's going to be a lot of dead air and be dead ass silent. That's not engaging. That's not entertaining. And I'm not about to get up here and scream and yell for nobody or for nothing. I'm not about to yell at myself at the screen. When I look at the phone, I see me. So, I don't want to yell at me. I want to at least have, I'd be okay if I at least have a plan of attack, plan of things that I'm going to do. And then if we steer off to the left, that's cool. Clip, 7 be ethering me every time I go live. So I understand. It's not like I haven't learned these YouTube things yet to do like this full blown production, very polished streams. But I'm getting better. You know what I'm saying? I just need to have my little certain segments that I just start building on and, give it the vibe, a type of name, and that's what it's going to be because I don't want to do the same stuff every day. But I want you guys to be able to be clear on what it is that I'm doing when I'm doing it. So, oh, by the way, I am on the road to 300 subs. I know that's not a lot, but it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? So tell a friend, share the live. Well, you shouldn't even be commenting in my chat if you're not subscribed already. But go ahead and subscribe anyway if you haven't. Make sure the notifications is on. And yeah. Yeah. I don't know, what did I miss this weekend? I've been kind of MIA. Is there anything that y'all would like to discuss? Want me to get my opinion on? Like I did say prior, I am gonna start withdrawing back a little bit because I don't want to be second guessing my opinions. I want to have my opinion. It is what it is. Was you talking showing hamsters? Facts. Non-dangerous scenarios, right? Because looking at rats get killed clip is a little bit wild for me. It's not my thing. You know, I like to keep it a little bit on the funnier side. Trapping them, yeah, but electrocuting them, Clip, you was wilding for that. I can't get those images out my head. Absolutely can't. And yes, I know I sound a little on the nasally side. I am congested. You know, toddlers put everything in their mouth and they give all the germs to you. So it's also not even like I have like super duper energy powers to be up here for like 6 hours anyway with y'all. But I try the best that I can when I can, especially if I get a few minutes to myself. But let me see how I look. How do I even look today? I look, whatever today. It's a lounge day, so it is what it is. Trying to figure out something to do with my hair, though. But I do appreciate you guys for pulling up with me and listening to my nerd rant on the Travis Rudolph scenarios of the stuff that's going on. Tomorrow's a holiday. Wait, is tomorrow the actual holiday? Tomorrow's the holiday. Yeah, tomorrow's the 29th. My auntie's birthday is coming up on the 31st. So that's like a rough day for me. You know, I miss my auntie. So, you know, we coming up on some, some hard anniversaries. You know, it's gonna be my second birthday without her being here. But we're gonna get through it, push through it. I push through every day anyway. It is what it is. Yeah, that's about all I got for y'all. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna stall y'all out and I'm not gonna hold y'all. Nobody click the link. I ain't got shit else I want to talk about. And at this point, all I'm gonna have is some random ass rants and shit. I'm waiting to hear back from these 3 people because they do some mixtapes and I be wanting to play music, but I don't know how to mix shit myself like that. You know, with the ins and out transitions and stuff. So I'm waiting to hear back, so hopefully we can get some like new music and stuff like that up here for the dry spots that even when I don't necessarily want to end the live, I just ain't got shit to say at that very moment. We have something to listen to. We can open the chat and let you guys talk because that's what most of y'all are here for. Y'all chat niggas. Most of y'all are here for the chat anyway. It's not necessarily 100% about what's going on the panel. We all congregate here and just kick it and cool it. But I guess I'm going to go ahead and end it here with y'all. So, again, it's been real. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Maybe I go live again. Maybe I don't. It depends on if I find something to actually fucking talk about. All right, y'all? And if so, we might get a blue after dark. But, don't hold me to it, But y'all take it easy.